Oh, but see, he changed his mind. So as soon as he changed his mind is when you want to be there. Like, so he had it, right, till about right here. Like, he was like, but his shoulder still wasn't following his nose. So when he straightened his nose back out, his shoulder and him were still already heading this way. So you need to get him to kind of turn his nose, but then get him thinking like a lean with his body so that his body can follow his nose. You're okay, you're okay.
Watch how the right leg travels over the ground and the left hip drops down. That's a threat of a kick. That's not just stepping over.
Good boy. Hey!
And from that threat of a kick, he goes straight into a threat of a charge. That facial expression there is a threat of a charge. It would feel natural to want to have a, hey, let's just be friends kind of response to that. But the problem is that pet there rewarded the negative behavior.
Good boy. Stop that. So now,
here are even more gestures of threatening to charge. Watch that front right foot, how it was a swung over the ground towards him, step forward.
now, if he ever does something like that and you want to make sure that you can put a punctuation on your protection, that line can become like a hose with a wicked kink in it, right? Like, you just make as much noise as you need to in front of you, between the two of you, because he's got a couple things that he does that are aggressive behaviors that he's pretending not to have, but he's showing them to you. So that's a potential charge. When he does that, it's a potential he's going to come at you. You want to make sure that you are prepared to just throw all the energy possible between the two of you to stop him from coming any closer to you in that frame of mind. Because he's not doing it yet, but he certainly showed you that he's thinking it. And he's also, he got that hind end threat too. Let me see, maybe he'll do it to me, and then maybe I can help him. You gonna do that to me? Because we can fix it if you do it to me.
Because he was already threatening it, the very moment he pinned his ears at me, I took a very strong forward stance at him, and then it was just over.
So listen to me. You're okay, but you're not going to do that to me.
I don't react to the little bit of ears here because it's him just trying to work through his mood. There was no real threat.
Keep going. Good job.
Although, yes, that front foot does cover the ground with the ears, I'm going to let him have it as he still tries to work his way through the mood.
Oh. That's it. It wasn't as hard as you're pretending it is.
The affection that's offered to him here is just to acknowledge him for trying to override his attitude. Here he's a little jumpy because I had to react to his desire to charge, and I let him know that I didn't mean anything by that. And then I'm going to ask him to properly respond to my request to back up. He's going to paw forward. That's a question more than it was an aggressive reaction. And I just got louder so that he understood that I was just asking him to back up, and I needed to turn up the volume for him to hear through his kind of foggy mind right now that's keeping him wanting to be aggressive. Here, I just acknowledge him through the touch of my hand, and his lowering his head is appreciation for that acknowledgement. Now we should be able to work our way through all my requests without an attitude problem. The trick in this kind of work is to make sure that you don't make the horse continuously feel wrong for a bad decision, and you don't hold a grudge. If I were to maintain aggressive energy towards him for one mistake he made 5 minutes ago, that would not be a recipe for good progress. It would just actually be a recipe for a bigger issue with his aggression. So here he should start to just say, well, what would you like me to do? And then I tell him, and he says, okay, I understand that. I'm happy to do it.
See,
As
a lot
long
of it's
as
just
we
allowing
continue
it
to
all
go,
be,
okay, I understand that. I'm happy to
giving
do
him
it.
the information,
He's going to get
and then
released,
allowing it to be.
and he's going to be told what a good boy he is.
Good. You did great. You're okay. You're okay. Don't be so quick to be mad.
And I have a hand on the head kind of relationship with all my horses, that they understand that I am expressing acknowledgement for their try, and that is my way of saying I appreciate you. And usually the instant that my hand touches their head, they'll lower their head and take that opportunity to relax.